So I'm Victor Mandolia, and I'm from Selden, New York, which is on Long Island. It's out in Suffolk County. When I was 16, I started going out to Fire Island, to Cherry Grove. I had recently left this born-again Christian church that I was involved with for a brief time, and came out and had been dating the most gorgeous guy in my high school. So we started going to Cherry Grove, and I discovered it very quickly. Like, I think I was 17 when I started working there, and I was hanging out with a group of friends. Some of us were working at the Ice Palace in the hotel, but others of us lived right either in the hotel or right near it. So we hung out a lot, and we listened to completely different things than what we were hearing in the club. So it was, we were into Blondie and the Ramones and Patti Smith and Nina Hagen. And so that was the stuff that we listened to when we were at home. But then we would go out dancing, and it was a very different scene. It was very homogenous. Back then, there was only a little tiny club in the Pines that, so for all of the guys who were on Fire Island on a given Saturday night, it wouldn't hold everybody. So everybody would take water taxis to the Grove. As you know, a diverse group of friends, we didn't really feel like we fit into the crowd there. So we were looking down. We were at the top of the hotel, the second story of the hotel, looking down at the crowd, and it was like, this was a time when, at the time, they used to call them the clones. So it was like guys who like all had 501 jeans on, a white T-shirt on, and with mustache. So it was like a sea of clones. And so for us, I had a 10-inch afro. We didn't really. The guy that I was dating used to like wear plastic chains, and it was just like we were not like them. We were standing up on the balcony, and we started screaming at the crowd like, "Wake up! Wake up!" And we just didn't really get the scene. We didn't understand it. We had always gone into the city, and I mean New York City. When people usually on Long Island, they say the city, they mean New York. And most of the time when we went we went to clubs that were focused in the Christopher Street area, but it still was all males, and it was almost all. I don't recall ever seeing a woman there. So we started branching out and looking at other places, and it wasn't until I went to the Pyramid Club, and it was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we've been talking about. This is what we have been picturing. It was completely diverse racially, sexuality. It was, men and women and dykes and fags and everybody all together. It really was everything what we were dreaming about. It was everything that we had been talking about that we'd like to see, and like integrated, mixed music, mixed people, performance, art, all in one place. From what we saw and learned there, and also had envisioned previously, like we started producing events first in small places in the East Village, and then in much larger places, and bringing that whole concept and crowd as well, because we cultured and nurtured that crowd because we wanted people who would appreciate the diversity and the difference and the freakiness and the funkiness of what we were delivering. Even back to the places on Christopher Street and that whole like sort of late 70s, early 80s thing that was going on in gay clubs in New York was that the freaks were celebrated. Like the crazier, the stranger, they were exalted. And then when AIDS happened, it was like a party became 4 go-go boys, muscly go-go boys on a box. And a lot of that had to do with the people's reaction to AIDS and HIV, and that was healthy, and that was safe, and that was good. And what we we felt was being lost was the celebration of differentness. As the time went on, as the 80s went on, in the 90s, we tried to continue to celebrate the freaks and the strangeness and the art and the difference that we all experience. And I think that it's important today just as much that we exalt and lift up people who are different and who don't fit in, because in many ways they're the most creative. They're the people who are bringing the most joy and art and wonderful things to us. And you know, we can't become our oppressors. We can't say, you don't fit in here, you're too weird, you're too this. It's like, you know, you're weird, come over here. Come hang out with me, basically.